Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Why is the middle class shrinking? Why are people facing an affordability crisis while marginalized individuals called informals grow in numbers? Join me as I travel the world, speaking with people living in invisibility, the leaders working to solve it, and uncovering the hard truths shaping our economy and daily reality.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.
Sunday morning. With us today is a U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Jay Clayton. The Southern District of New York traditionally is the biggest and busiest U.S. Attorney's office in the country. Jay Clayton Jay, you're in the middle of keeping New York City safe. I mean, the President Trump has assigned you with the task of coordinating federal authorities or all federal people to keep New York City safe. And right now, there's terrorist threats. Give us an update on what the heck is going on.
Well, you're so right, and John, thank you for all you do for New Yorkers. But New York is, for all the reasons that New York is great, New York is a target. And I think that New Yorkers are smart, and they should recognize that, and they can actually help us, John. John, we are under threat, and I'm not saying that to alarm people. I'm saying that so that their antenna are up, so that they're paying attention. And if you don't mind, I'll just talk about some of the national security cases that we've brought in this district since the beginning of the year. Is that all right with you?
Absolutely. Please do that because all New Yorkers should know what the heck is going on, and because we're in the middle of a war, and I guess a lot of Americans are coming back from the Middle East during this period of time.
Yes, and John, it's a multi-front risk profile. We have, for example, the case of the Venezuelan illicit leadership, Maduro, that we started the year off. They're narco trafficking, killing people with drugs, using violence. But there's more, John. We have just in this year arrested 3 potential assassins. One was going to kill someone in the New York City area. Others outside the New York City area, but using the means of finance and other things in New York. Another one targeting actually some New York citizens. We have. Let's not forget. We have a charges in the Eastern District, my sister district, that an aide of our governor was a spy for the Chinese. We have Russian intelligence agents that we have arrested. And another thing that New Yorkers should realize is that our foreign adversaries can sow discontent in many ways, not just violence, but they can sow discontent online. They can sow discontent by financing protesters. And if you think that, just a minute, New Yorkers are smart. If you think that they're willing to carry out assassinations on our soil, they're certainly willing to invest in online influence and paying protesters. And I think New Yorkers should recognize that.
Well, I think, Jay Clayton, I think that there's foreign money being infiltrated, trying to pay off some people to do the wrong things in America.
And I applaud President Trump for what he is doing, because for 30 years, for my entire professional lifetime, as I've been paying attention to these things, the Iranians have used vast oil resources to fund this type of discontent, to fund this type of terrorism. We hear about it outside the United States, but just this week, we revealed that they have been using cyberspace and cyber attacks against the United States and brought charges there. So we should all recognize that there is a multifaceted coldish war going on in addition to this hot conflict that we have right now, and we should not fall victim to it. We should not fall victim to this online influence, to these paid protesters, and to the people who would use our freedoms of speech and the like, to divide us. So I'm just asking New Yorkers to be smart, be aware, ask yourself, is this foreign influence? Is this really two Americans having an honest debate, or is someone trying to tilt the playing field?
Well, especially, what I said the other day on television and on radio is that with all the billions of dollars that are missing, there are some people, foreigners that got involved in taking that money, are throwing some money at us to change the conversation. So American people have to realize that changing the conversation on the major networks that we're not doing the right thing, and the reason they're changing the conversation is because they want to take the other conversation off the front page of the hundreds of billions of dollars that are missing.
Exactly right. And John, just think about it this way: if someone is willing to coordinate an assassination on our soil, isn't it likely that they would try to buy influence, that they would try to use our open and free debate to their advantage? And look, it's cheap. How much does a fighter jet cost? Let's just say it costs $30, $40, $50, $100 million. You can sow discontent for $100,000.
They can buy all the picketing in the world for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. It's nickels and dimes compared to the big picture.
And we should recognize that, and we should be acting accordingly. And the reason I love coming on your program is because your listeners are smart, and they're going to ask themselves, is that information that's being sent at me, is that really representative of a bunch of Americans having a great open debate, or is this foreign influence designed to influence us and divide us?
And I'm so disappointed in some of our allies in Europe on some of the things they're saying and doing, and they don't support us unless President Trump himself puts the pressure on it. And all we've done since World War I and World War II is protect Europe. They can't take care of themselves. Don't they realize it?
John, I applaud the women and men of law enforcement. I think the world of the New York Police Department, what they do to protect us from international bad actors is unbelievable. The counterterrorism folks at the FBI, the DEA, Homeland Security, our approach to protecting America from these malign actors, from terrorists, is hugely inuring to the benefit of the Europeans.
Yes, 100% correct. And the whole thing with Greenland was, it's just protection for North America and protection for Canada and protection for the UK and protection for Europe. And how did my physics professor say it in high school? It was intuitively obvious. But, away from the fancy words. And what else in New York are we concerned about?
Well, we continue to be concerned about criminals who use guns. And believe me, we've talked a lot about national security and threats from outside. Some of that manifests itself in the gangs we have in New York, but it doesn't matter where it comes from. That is our number one focus, in the domestic focus in this office, is to get criminals who use guns detained, convicted, and off the streets.
Agree, but the criminals always have guns. They find them someplace. and I'm glad you're taking them off the streets, because some of the district attorneys in New York I'm disappointed in some of them. Is that people? It's a revolving door arrest, where they're arrested and they end up going home for dinner.
It is a revolving door arrest, and it's even worse. We have made it in the state system, which is why the federal system we need to step up. In addition to being released pending trial, even if they're violent, the discovery rules, what the information that the defendant is obligated to receive, that we're obligated to provide the defendant in a state court system, includes information that I believe facilitates witness intimidation. They are able to go. They're out. They have colleagues. They have co-conspirators, and they're allowed to go. Well, I shouldn't say they're allowed. There is nothing stopping them from using the information they receive as part of the legal process to intimidate witnesses, and that is a change that happened, and it is manifesting itself in real harm to our state criminal justice system.
Jay Clayton, I just want to make sure that all our listeners heard what you just said and what it means. That means under the new state law is that criminals are supposed to get the phone numbers and addresses of the people that they victimized, and that makes the victims even more nervous and get scared, and they don't want to prosecute. Is that correct?
I'll speak more generally, because exactly what information they get depends. But we have made it much more risky to come to court and provide testimony, to come and participate in the criminal justice system. We have made witness intimidation easier.
Well, Jay Clayton, thank you so much for coming on this Sunday morning, and thank you for keeping all New Yorkers informed. And I guess you are talking to the people of the the Eastern District and the Northern District that covers all of New York. And thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you, John.
This is Greg Kelly. Donate now to Toys for Tots, which works year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, it has provided over 63 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.